Okay, yesterday we did similar triangles, proving if they were similar or not. Now we're looking at pictures where the triangles are already similar and we're finding values of x. This picture looks familiar from one we had yesterday. The little triangle that's here, these little marks, that stands for what again? Parallel. So you've got a small triangle embedded within a big triangle, and the bases of the two triangles are parallel. When that happens, you have similar triangles overall, which means you can do some fun math with it. I'm going to say fun. It's similar by the angle-angle similarity, because angle B is shared. You've got parallel lines cut by a transversal, so we have corresponding angles here and here. So this first part is giving you like the actual formula, definition, and all that behind it. You may not get it because you're going to use letters, but when we go down here and start practicing it, I think you're going to get it, and you're going to find it a lot easier than the letters. All right, so let's look. When we have a small triangle embedded in a big triangle and the bases are parallel, we have the following condition. If DE is parallel to AC, then the following proportion can be set up. There are multiple proportions here, but I personally choose one that involves the parts because I find that easier. You can say that BD is proportional to DA, as BE is proportional to EC. Now, I don't want you to memorize those letters. What I want you to memorize is what I'm going to do right now in the picture. Find the top of the triangle, meaning I want you to turn the triangle so that the parallel lines are laying flat like bases. And find the top. I want you to put a star or an asterisk to remember that's the top. And basically, your first fraction, watch how I do this, will be part over part. Then you come back to the top. Your second fraction will be part over part. Now, the weird little quirky related to food, because y'all know me, I like food. Related to food scenario here is candy corn. How many of you like candy corn? What? Y'all are crazy. That's nasty. That's so gross. I love to throw it away. They're so gross. Anyways, not judging at all. Y'all know what candy corn looks like, though, whether you eat it or not, right? Everybody know what candy corn looks like? Okay, now let's see if we
White, orange, and yellow.
Okay, this was my question. Can we all agree on what are the colors of the candy corn in what order? I thought it was orange, white, yellow.
Yeah, it's orange, white, yellow.
Actually, I think you should buy some candy.
Why? We get to wear jeans on Thursday if we wear our favorite college. That's how sad this profession is. But it's okay. I get to wear jeans. I know, it's alright. They can't hear me. The microphone's over there. I love this job. What's the top? What's the top? Is it orange? Isn't the majority of it orange?
Yeah.
Right?
And then white and then yellow.
Okay.
Not that much. And it's the other side.
It's the other way.
What?
The bottom is orange.
It is not.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes. A lot more.
What?
I thought the orange white and then yellow
the middle is white.
You.
Wait, I gotta look at this.
No, the white's on top.
And then I thought it was that.
The yellow.
There's a white.
Hey, see,
I'm looking at that.
Somebody look it up.
Candy corn.
Y'all don't even have your phones.
Okay, I don't know why.
It's yellow, orange, white.
What?
No, that's so right.
Which one is it? Which one is it?
It's white,
Oh, I was completely
It's
fast
yellow,
backwards.
orange, white.
White, orange, yellow. Fast backwards.
It's yellow or
White on top.
Yes.
white.
It's white
White
on
on the
top,
sharp point.
orange in the middle, yellow on top.
White on top. Then yellow. I don't know.
No, orange and then yellow.
Oh,
That's Holcombe.
And then yellow.
well, I don't. Does that look right?
You see that?
Oh, is
That
that
looks
right?
right.
That looks
It
right.
looks
You look green.
Okay, will you please draw a candy corn? I know you don't have colors, that's okay. But draw a candy corn.
point of this? Yeah, it's gonna look like a candy corn.
Wow. Like a fingernail. The wrong thing.
The reason I'm telling you candy corn is because you're gonna hear me say, find the top of the candy corn, and then go down one side, there's the first fraction, go back to the top, go down the other side, there's the second fraction. Bam. Related to food. Alright,
Food that I do not eat.
yeah, I'm giving everybody colors. Scraps over. Here we go. Alright, color a candy corn. There you go. Color a candy corn so it sticks out. You want markers? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Don't give them to her.
Oh, too late.
You.
Color candy corn, and if you don't mind, pass the colors. Let's just go to the right with them.
Who needs a yellow?
Pass the colors to the right. Y'all pass those around, and then I'll get them back from you. So the candy corn, and y'all, I don't know why, but when I see this picture, like my mind sees a candy corn because I see the layers. You know what I mean? Oh, okay, yeah, don't confuse me. Yeah, you're right.
You don't need
Is that what you said?
see
Oh,
it's
there.
You know, like the stuff
I
around.
need a orange. Oh, okay, okay.
Like I mean, like the things she drew around the triangle. It's
Oh,
like ice cream scoop. Yeah, it looks like ice cream.
I'm seeing it.
Oh.
Huh?
Right, I can see that.
What happened?
Now see a fingernail that's painted during Halloween.
I said what?
That would be a really ugly fingernail.
I see a fingernail.
You see somebody with nothing like that.
Well, it could be Halloween.
Yeah, if you're like 4 years old. You know, acorn nails.
Okay,
Why are you back?
then this holds true. If the bases are parallel, then you can go to your proportion. Notice this says convert. It's beeping.
It's so bad.
Notice this says converse. Converse means we switch our if, then completely. So instead of if they're parallel, then I have a proportion. The converse is if the proportion holds true, then it means the bases are parallel. So if BD compared to DA is the same fraction as BE compared to EC, it has to be the same fraction or decimal value. We practiced that yesterday. Then it means that those bases are in fact parallel.
I'm lost.
Remember what I said, you're going to be lost up here at the top because we're just spitting out letters. But when I actually show you how to apply it, you're going to be like, okay, you should have just led with that. Yes, we will get decimals sometimes. Decimals need to be rounded to the nearest tenth. All right, here we go. Let's apply it. First of all, number 1, find the top of the candy corn. Now you see why I said let's talk about candy corn. Find the top of it. Would you say the top is here? Good. Put that little asterisk there because that's going to remind you where your pencil needs to go back to for the second fraction. All right, here we go. First fraction. Doesn't matter what side you pick. I'm just going to go with the top. Part over part. So 12 over 14. Go back to the top of the candy corn. And then repeat. Part over part. So 15 over X. Then y'all already know we've been here for 2 weeks now. How do you solve a proportion? Cross multiply. You should get 17.5. I do need to show you a red means wrong scenario because I've seen people do it, so I want to show you what is a common mistake and then for you to try to avoid it, okay? I've seen people start the beginning correctly, but then they circle around and then come back that way, and that's going to give you the wrong answer, okay? So that's why we draw the little asterisk at the top to remind us to go back up there before we start the next fraction. So, cross multiply, did you get 17.5? Somebody upstairs is like moving the whole,
It's Coach Gray's room.
the projector is bouncing, like right now it's not bouncing. Now there it goes. And when you're up here writing so close, it feels like your brain is bouncing in your head. All right, let's go to, I'm doing odd, you're doing even. Let's go to number 3. Let's make it a little more challenging. Janae, stay with me. What is different in number 3 compared to number 1? There you go. This is a problem-solving skill. This is part of being successful in life, is being able to look at something and say, okay, wait a minute, there's something different. And then trying to manage, like, okay, what do I need before I can go to my fractions? Stay with me. Stay with me. This is different because over here they gave me the total, but over here I don't know the total, right? So I cannot use the 55 because this is a total, and I don't have the total over here. Remember, we have to be consistent. But I can find this by simply subtracting. So if the total's 55 and the part I don't need is 45, that would leave 10 here. And now I will ignore the 55 and set up my problem. Find the top of the candy corn, draw an asterisk, go down one side, x over 36, go back to the top, go down the other side, 10 over 45. Did you get 8? 8. Did you get 8? Will, did you get 8? All right, level it up. Go to number 5. Number 5, what is different? What's different? It is now a binomial instead of just a plain x. You don't change anything in terms of setting it up. You set it up the same way. You just have to remember to put what around the binomial? parentheses so that you'll remember to distribute. Find the top of the candy corn. We're going to go down one side. 30 over x plus 7. This is terrible handwriting. Go back to the top, go down the other side. Put parentheses around the x plus 7. And now we're going to cross multiply. We're going to distribute the 25 to everything in the parentheses. Is 102, so 175. Subtract the 175. Right? And then divide by 25. Don't panic on number 6. You do see two binomials, but when you go to set it up, they are not going to end up multiplying together. It's not a quadratic. It'll still be linear, okay? So you should be able to do it just fine. Let's flip to the back. The 3 questions on the back say, determine if MN is parallel to JL. So this requires us to do the converse, where we have to set the proportion up and see, does it equal each other, to answer yes or no. We're going to set the proportion up like normal. There's no solving. Notice there's no x. You're not solving. And then we're going to see, do the proportions equal each other. Now I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this. One is just like yesterday. So go to the top of the candy corn. Remember, there's no parallel markings because we don't know if it's parallel. So find the top, go down one side. So you got 11 over 15.4. Go back to the top, go down the other side. You got 10 over 14. Now, there's 2 ways to do this, and one of them is the same as what we practiced yesterday, where you're basically checking the fractions. So like 11 divided by 15.4, leave it. 10 divided by 14, leave it. And you're just checking to see, do they match? Let's see. Almost see it. All right. So 11 divided by 15.4, leave. 10 divided by 14, leave. That's one way. I personally don't like that way because when I see a fraction equals a fraction, my mind immediately just wants to cross multiply. I like multiplying better than dividing. I don't know why. So let me show you another way, and that would be just cross multiplying these numbers, and you should get the same number. So that's another way. So 11 times 14. Leave it. 15.4 times 10. Leave it. We get the same number. You decide which way you like. Oh, I wrote the wrong thing. because we got the same number, I'm going to put a check mark. They did equal, so that means yes. MN is parallel to JL. If they don't match completely, then the answer is no, and then you move on. Okay? All right. I'm going to just go ahead to the next part because it's very similar, and then that way I can turn you loose to do your practice. Your practice, remember, is going to be the problems that I did not go over. This next part, picture looks totally different. We don't have triangles, right? Instead, we have 3 parallel lines, and then we have 2 transversals that kind of merge in the same direction. Picture's different, the math is the same. Okay? So you're going to not find the top of the candy corn. You're basically going to find where do the 2 rogue transversals look like they're coming together to merge. That's the top of the candy corn. So like this transversal and this transversal, they look like they would come together like up here, right? So the top of the of the candy corn, if you want to keep that same mindset, would be here. And then we would shoot down one side. You got part over part, come back, part over part. Let's write the letters though. I personally do not want to use A, B, C, D, E, F, all of them. So I'm going to actually assign these parallel lines with a single letter. Lowercase cursive letters are assigned to lines. So L, K, and M. It's cursive, so the K looks kind of funny. L, K, M. If L is parallel to K and parallel to M, so if all 3 lines are parallel, then I have a proportion that I can set up, and it's going to go down the left and it's going to go down the right. AC is proportional to CE, as BD is proportional to DF. Different picture, same math. All right, let's do 10, 12, and 14. So number 10, put your pencil where it looks like the lines would be merging together and would be the top of the candy corn. And then draw an asterisk right there to kind of remind you, okay, that's the top. That's where I've got to come back to for my second fraction. Then just shoot down one side, write your fraction, shoot down the other side, write your fraction. So 45 over 18 equals, go back, 52 over x. You get a decimal here, you're just going to round to the nearest 10. Did you get 20.8? I'll make sure Leah doesn't fall. All right, go to number 12. What's different? Be a problem solver. What's different in 12? Yep, they're giving us the total, and I don't need the total because I don't know the total in the top part and can't find it either. So I've got to do a little subtracting here before I can run with my fractions. So the total, this is the total. We need to take 32, subtract off the 18 part that we already know, and that leaves me with what? 14. And now, if you need to, you can mark the 32 out because you don't need it, or you can just kind of mute it in your head. Now you need to find like where the top of the candy corn is. That would be where those rogue lines would be merging. Looks like they would merge over here, right? Then shoot down one side. So x over 27. Then shoot down the other side. 14 over 18. Did you get 21? All right, let's do 14. They give me the 4 parts that I need. I do have a binomial, so I'm going to be putting parentheses around it and distributing. Looks like the top is here. Go down one side, go back, go down the other. Easy peasy. What number? Which one? It'll drop. You can. You can come over here. Or I can hit it. I don't know why I said that to you. Yeah. What? Which one? What? I hit this one. Okay. Wait, you gotta set the fractions up. So it's gonna be 30 over x plus 7 equals 25 over 15, and then you cross multiply. You're not gonna get the 30 times the x plus 7. And that's just so easy. I'll finish the next one. Is it because of the teacher?